Denmark eased its coronavirus restrictions on Wednesday by reopening schools and daycare centers. But thousands of parents kept their children at home because of concerns about a second wave of coronavirus infections. As the rate of new cases falls, the government's decision to reopen schools has led to a debate over balancing the economy and the safety of children. "I won't be sending my children off no matter what," said Sandra Anderson. She is the founder of a Facebook group called My Kid Is Not Going to Be a Guinea Pig. It has more than 40,000 followers. Anderson is the mother of 2 girls, aged 5 and 9. "I think a lot of parents are thinking, why should my little child go outside first?" she said. The coronavirus has infected more than 6,600 people across the country. 300 of them have died as a result of COVID-19, the disease caused by the virus. Denmark has told citizens to stay safe at home for the past month. The government also ordered stores, restaurants, and movie theaters to close. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen defended the decision to reopen schools. Frederiksen said she had acted on the advice of health officials. She also said reopening the schools would let parents return to work and get the economy going again. Christian Weisse is a scientist at the Department of Infectious Diseases at Aarhus University. Weisse said he understood people's worries because we've spent a month trying to avoid contact. But he added that new infections would not be a problem for children because few fall ill and those who do won't get very sick. He told Danes to look at neighboring Sweden, which has kept schools open without a big rise in infections. Children, he added, do not seem to be much of a carrier of the infection. Teachers have been told to keep social distancing in place between children. Social or physical distancing means keeping space between yourself and other people. Thousands of Danish mothers have joined an online group called Momster. Its founder, Esme Emma Suchu, said most mothers do not believe government officials have things under control. She said, "Suddenly, these moms feel like they just have to throw their kids to the front line, and I think their reaction is, don't mess with our kids." Noni Bersen Hansen is a mother of 2 children, aged 2 and 4. She will not send her children back to school, she said, adding the conditions officials are setting up now are even worse. The spreading coronavirus has canceled several touring performances from top musical artists. But some of these musicians have found a new place to sing: their living rooms. John Legend, Bono, Pink, and Keith Urban are among those who have all live-streamed performances from their homes. "I mean, we don't normally do concerts live from our house," Legend told the Associated Press. On Tuesday, he sang for nearly an hour in a show that was live-streamed on Facebook and Instagram. This is a cool way to connect with people and make them feel some kind of love, he said. The piano-playing musician took requests on social media as he sang from his living room, just as he does at one of his concerts. Legend's performance was in support of the World Health Organization's newly launched online concert series, Together at Home. Others have found creative ways to communicate with people. Miley Cyrus started a daily Instagram live talk show called Bright-Minded Live with Miley to lift people's spirits. Singer-actress Demi Lovato appeared on the show Tuesday. Brandon Flowers of The Killers tweeted a video of himself washing his hands while singing his song, Mr. Brightside. Kevin O'Donnell is head of musical partnerships at Twitter. He said, "It's really incredible to see artists coming together to figure out ways that they can bring happiness to their fans given this crazy time that we're living in at the moment." Death Cab for Cuties' Ben Gibbard and JoJo have also joined the music community by live streaming directly on social media. So have Christine and the Queens, Youngblood, David Foster, and Catherine McPhee. John Legend is working on new music and may still release his songs in a few weeks while people are still inside their homes. "I think we can get a lot of that out to people sooner rather than later," he said. "We have to decide as a music community if we're going to let the fact that we can't go out and promote it stop us from putting it out. And I think we should put stuff out," he added.
The International Olympic Committee has announced a first-of-its-kind postponement of the Summer Olympics. The Tokyo Games are being delayed because of the coronavirus pandemic. The virus has affected daily life around the world, making planning for the sporting event in July nearly impossible. The IOC released a statement on the Tokyo Games Tuesday. It said they must be rescheduled to a date beyond 2020, but not later than summer 2021, to safeguard the health of the athletes, everybody involved in the Olympic Games, and the international community. Athletes, sports organizations, and national Olympic committees had been pressuring the IOC to postpone the Games. They noted that the virus had put serious limitations on training and qualifying events, as well as efforts to fight the use of performance-enhancing drugs. Hayley Wickenheiser of Canada was the first International Olympic Committee member to criticize the IOC for not postponing the Games sooner. After the announcement to postpone the Olympics, she released a statement on Twitter. It read, "To all the athletes, take a breath, regroup, take care of yourself and your families. Your time will come." IOC President Thomas Bach and Japanese Prime Minister Abe Shinzo spoke by telephone Tuesday morning. The two men, top IOC officials, and Japan's organizing committee agreed to the call to delay the 2020 Summer Games. Other Olympics, 1916, 1940, and 1944, have been canceled because of war, but none have ever been postponed for any reason. The Tokyo Games would still be called the 2020 Olympics, although they will be held in 2021. The leaders agreed that the Olympic Games in Tokyo could stand as a beacon of hope, the IOC said in a statement. The decision eases some of athletes' concerns. They no longer have to move forward with training under near impossible conditions, unsure of when exactly they need to be ready and for what. Thankful to finally have some clarity regarding the Olympic Games. A huge decision, but I think the right one for sure, noted British runner Adam Gemilli on Twitter. Time to regain, look after each other during this difficult period, and go again when the time is right. One reason the IOC took longer to make the decision was because it wanted to have a plan of action. Many of the arenas, sports centers, and hotels in and around Tokyo have special use agreements for the Games, which were to open on July 24th. Remaking those agreements is doable, but will come at a cost. Tokyo has already spent a reported $28 billion to hold the Games. A lot can happen in 1 year, so we have to think about what we have to do, said Toshiro Muto, head of the Tokyo Games Organizing Committee. The decision came upon us all of a sudden. But for weeks, it was becoming increasingly clear that starting on July 24th was no longer a choice. Almost every sport around the world has suspended play after health officials declared COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus, a pandemic. Holding Olympic qualifying events over the next month or two became increasingly unreasonable. At first, Olympic committees in Canada and Australia were saying they either would not or could not send a team to Tokyo in July. World athletics and the three biggest Olympic sports in the United States, swimming, track, and gymnastics, were calling for a postponement. As recently as Sunday, the IOC was saying it would take up to 4 weeks to reach a decision. 4 weeks ended up being 2 days. The decision came only a few hours after local organizers said the Olympic torch relay would start as planned on Thursday. The event was expected to start in the northeastern Japanese prefecture of Fukushima, but with no torch carriers, and no members of the public. Those plans also changed. The Olympic flame will continue burning and be kept in Fukushima. Like everything else in the Olympic world, its next move will be decided at a later date.